The gopi said, Uddhavji, what are you doing? You're such a big jnani. We are illiterate women. If you lie like this, what will the world say? Uddhav said, forget about the world now. I was in great misunderstanding. Now I have understood. Hum unke hue ve hamare hue. Uddhav said, Sri Krishna said that go and give this knowledge to the gopis. What he meant was, take this knowledge and throw it at their feet. And from there, you take divine love. So he said, now I have understood. Hum unke hue ve hamare hue. Now I have become his and he has become mine. Earlier he was talking about Advait. I am God. Now he's come into Dvait. Hum unke hue ve hamare hue. इस प्रेम गली में आने से बेकार हमें समझाना है, अब क्या होगा समझाने से. So that Uddhav, by the grace of the gopis, received divine love. And he became overjoyed. Intoxicated in that love, he went back. He had taken 2 hours to come from Mathura to Vrindavan. It's 12 kilometers, about 8 miles. He took 6 months to go back. On the way, he would just embrace every tree and creeper and shout, Ha Radhe, Ha Shyam Sundar. When he came back, met Sri Krishna. The Saint Surdas describes, Sur Sham Bhutal Pare, Nain Rahe Jal Chai, Ponchi Peet Pataso Kahyo, Bhaliyaye Yoga Sikhai. So Uddhav, Sri Krishna said, Uddhav, did you go and teach yoga to the gopis? So they both fell down on the ground. They embraced each other and Uddhav had tears in his eyes. So Sri Krishna wiped them with his pitambar. Uddhav said, you cunning fellow, why did you not tell me that you are sending me for this purpose? Sri Krishna said, if I had told you, you would never have gone. So Uddhav said, all right, now whatever has happened has happened. I ask you for a boon. So this boon is in the Bhagavatam. Asamoho charanarenu-jusham hansyam vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam yadustyajan swajanamarya pathancha hitva bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibhir vimrigyam. He says, in my next life, don't give me the human birth. In my next life, make me a blade of grass in that land of Braj of yours. So that these gopis who have your divine love, I may receive the dust of their lotus feet. And my heart also becomes fit enough, a fit vessel to receive that love. So tradition has it that Uddhav became a blade of grass. If you have gone to Vrindavan, on the parikrama path of Govardhan, there's a temple of Uddhav, where he's supposed to have become a blade of grass, so that he receives the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. In other words, that Uddhav is hankering so much for this ultimate treasure of divine love for God. So Narad ji is also saying out here, Trisatyasya, I say it thrice, Bhakti is the best, Bhakti is the highest, Bhakti is the most powerful. Sutra number 82. Gunamahatmyasakti,
Gunamahatmyasakti,
rupasakti,
rupasakti,
pujasakti,
pujasakti,
smaranasakti,
smaranasakti,
dasyasakti,
dasyasakti,
sakhyasakti,
sakhyasakti,
kantasakti,
kantasakti,
vatsalyasakti,
vatsalyasakti,
atmanivedanasakti,
atmanivedanasakti,
tanmayatasakti,
tanmayatasakti,
paramavirahasakti,
paramavirahasakti,
rupa,
rupa, ekadhapyekadashadha,
ekadhapyekadashadha bhavati.
bhavati.
Narad Ji is saying these 11 kinds of devotion. You can utilize any one of these or all 11 of these sentiments. You can decorate your devotion. You can enhance your devotion with these 9 kinds of sentiments. See, this bhakti involves decorating yourself from inside. Your devotion, like you decorate yourself from outside, so you keep decorating your devotion with better and better sentiments. And this is an endless process, because just like God is infinite, His bhakti is infinite. No saint can say that I have developed my devotion in all its aspects. It is impossible. All of us, our bhakti we are strong in one characteristic and the other is weak. So, there is scope for us to enhance our devotion through all these different sentiments. Naturally, because of sanskars of past lifetimes, we are naturally inclined to one kind of chintan, contemplation towards God. Somebody contemplates on Him as the mother, somebody as the beloved, somebody as the master. So Narad Ji is saying all these you can use. So we can hear it, and then we can increase our contemplation in that manner to develop our bhakti in that aspect. So it is good to know the various kinds of sentiments that saints have used. So gunamahatmyasakti, what is that? Attachment to hearing the glories of God and His virtues. Some people have a deep attachment for this. It is said the 4 Kumars, they love it so much, wherever a katha or discourse begins, they go and sit down there and they hear. And when there is no satsang going on, they do it amongst themselves. One becomes the vakta, the speaker, and 3 become the listeners. And they do the satsang amongst themselves. So that's gunamahat, attachment to hearing the glories of God. That's one aspect of devotion. Rupasakti, attachment to the form of God. Now, this of course is so dear to Kripaluji Maharaj. And we find out from the saints that the attachment to the form of God is so strong that the gopis, whatever they are doing, they think Sri Krishna has come there. Now we are running out of time, so we have to short circuit these. Pujasakti, attachment to worship. Some people have a natural attachment to worship. They like to keep the deities and worship them. This continues with sanskars. Smaranasakti, attachment to remembrance. Sit and meditate, sit and contemplate. Vatsalyasakti, this sentiment that He is my child. So this also comes naturally. See the Pushti Marg, which is so predominant in Gujarat. They worship Laddu Gopal and they have this chintan, Lala. They have Ashtayami Seva of Lala in their house. So this chintan develops, God is my child. Sakhyasakti, He is my friend. Kantasakti, Sri Krishna is my beloved. Dasyasakti, I am the servant of God. Now vatsalyasakti, He is my child. Atmanivedanasakti, complete surrender, sacrifice of the self towards Him. Tanmayatasakti, complete absorption in His thoughts. Paramavirahasakti. Now this is the highest. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed. Intense feeling of separation from Him. When will He come? When will He come? So some saints, they love to relish this feeling of separation because this enhances the love most intensely. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who displayed the highest levels of devotion in Radha Bhav, in the sentiments of Radha, he displayed this paramavirahasakti. So Naradji says that you utilize any one or all of these to enhance your love for God. Never be proud that I'm already there, I've got it. The tiny soul is insignificant in comparison to God. So similarly, this devotion is a vast ocean. So we drink a little bit of it to the extent of our capacity. Sutra number 83. Ityevam
Ityevam
vadanti
vadanti
jana jalpa nirbhaya
jana jalpa nirbhaya
ekmata
ekmata
kumar vyas
kumar vyas
shuk shandilya
shukra sandilya
garg vishnu
garg vishnu
kaundinya
kaundinya
sheshodhav
sheshodhav
aruni
aruni
bali
bali
hanumat
hanumat
vibhishanadayo
vibhishanadayo
aryah.
bhaktyacharya.
So Naradji is now quoting the authorities. I am not telling this to you from my head. The great Bhakti Acharyas, and he has named so many of them, have also described this Bhakti Tattva, this entity of Bhakti, in the same manner. So that is necessary. You see, anything is credible when it is confirmed from the Shastra, the scriptures, the Guru, and the Sadhu, the tradition of saints. The absolute truth is not something new that needs to be discovered. It is eternal. And we need to confirm it. You know, all the saints who became God realized, they have said this. Our Guru is saying this. The scriptures are saying this. Now that thing is totally credible. That is why the saints, when they explain something, they always quote. Why? It's not that everybody who's listening understands Sanskrit, but everybody gets this understanding that Swamiji is not saying from his head, he is revealing to us the eternal knowledge of the scriptures and the saints. So Tulsidas, he writes the Ramayana and he says, Nana Purana Nigamagama Sanmatam Yat Ramayane. This Ramayana I have written is not out of my head. It is in confirmation with the Nigam, Agam and Puran. Veda Vyas, he is a dissension of God. But in the Bhagavatam he says, Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam Sarvopanishadamapi. He says, this Bhagavat I am revealing to you is the essence of the Brahma Sutra and the Upanishads. Even Sri Krishna, he is God himself. Yet, when he gives the knowledge of the Gita to Arjun, he says, Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopalanandana. He says, Arjun, what I have told you is the essence of all the Upanishads. So God also follows this tradition of quoting the Shastras. You see, otherwise the whole scenario becomes so confusing. There are innumerable organizations, innumerable theories, innumerable techniques. How do you know which is credible, which is not? The credibility comes when it is in confirmation with the scriptures. So Naradji out here is no different, having given us all this wonderful knowledge in such a cryptic manner. You know, that is actually the sign of wisdom, the sign of understanding. Somebody who has understanding can explain the truth simply and easily. And when the understanding is foggy, then the explanation is also foggy. So Naradji, with his clarity, in these simple sutras, he has revealed the truth to us. But then he says that all the great Bhakti Acharyas too have said this. And further he says, without caring for what the world says. In history, it always happens that when a great saint comes in this world, worldly people tend to oppose. That is what history tells us. All the great saints in their lifetimes, they had to bear with a lot of worldly opposition. Why? Because worldly people cannot understand the saint. He is too high for them. The higher the saint, the more strongly he presses his message, the more it cuts people's philosophies, the more they get annoyed and irritated. If he says, you're also all right, you're also all right, everybody's all right, whatever you're doing is fine, then nobody has any problem with such a saint. Like, does anybody have any problem with the doormat? Of course not. You can easily step on it, there is no problem. So if a saint becomes like a doormat, nobody has any problems. But the job of the saint is to cut our misunderstandings, misconceptions, and to elevate us. So we have a particular mental, intellectual framework. He wants us to rise beyond that. So he tells us many things which initially seem unpalatable. So that is why the saints, they naturally evoke such a reaction. It happened to Muhammad. It happened to Jesus Christ. It happened to Mahatma Gandhi. It happened to Tulsi Das. It happened to Kabir Das. It happened to Gautam Buddha. All these saints had the same experience. When the saint goes away, then nobody has a problem. Then they all start glorifying him. Tulsi Das, when he was alive, the Pandits of Kashi, they tried to kill him. That, we were reciting the Ramayana in Sanskrit to everyone. We had this monopoly. And he's translated it into Hindi. Terrible. Outrageous. Then there will be no speciality of ours. They wanted to steal the Ramayana to kill him. But now that he is gone, everybody sings his glories. They subsist on the basis of his Ramayana. So that is the nature. When the saint is gone, it's all right. Like there was one Gwariya Baba in the mid-50s in Vrindavan. So people used to keep on objecting, why does he do this, why does he not do that? They would go on and on. Because people's intellect and his intellect, his level of realization, there's no compatibility, so it's natural. So he thought of a practical prank. He got some things printed and circulated in all of Vrindavan that Gwariya Baba has passed away, and the Shok Sabha, the condolence assembly, will be held at 5 o'clock in the evening in such and such place. So everybody gathered there. Gwariya Baba was a well-known Baba. They all gathered there. Now, there was nobody at the head of the assembly because everybody had received those notes. So they all discussed amongst themselves, all right, you be the convener of the assembly and you be the speaker. So amongst themselves, they convened the whole assembly and they all got up one by one to sing his glories. And they started saying, he was so nice and he was so wonderful. While it was all going on, Gwariya Baba got up from the center. They said, who are you? He said, I'm Gwariya Baba. But you are dead? Are you his ghost or something? He said, no, I am not his ghost. Then how come you are dead? He said, no, I just wanted to know what all you have to say about me. That's why I circulated all this. So a dead saint is all right for us. A living saint is not all right. So that is what Narad ji says out here, that without caring for what the people say, Jan Jalp Nirbhaya, the great saints have proclaimed the same truth that I am proclaiming before you in the Narad Bhakti Darshan. And finally, Sutra number 84. Ya idam Narada proktam Shiv Anushasanam Vishwasiti Sapreshtham Labhata iti. So now he says that he's offering now his blessings. That is the way they conclude the scriptures. So he's also offering his blessings that if you have faith in this message and you follow it, then you will be blessed. So he's encouraging us and saying that having faith in this, you will be blessed. Shri Radha Krishna Bhagwan ki, Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj ki, Shri Narad Muni Maharaj ki.